So let's find out a bit more about you, Trevor, to get to the heart of where you're coming from. Because people here in the US will know you from their TV screens, from going to games to see you. And when people see you in the long hair and the tattoos, are they surprised when they find out that you're a man of faith?
Not always, because I always would get teased like, oh, here comes Jesus into the cafeteria, the long hair and the beard kind of, you get that look. But
are you trying to emulate the look?
I try as best as I can to emulate the look. But no, I think it's something that it's a good conversation starter, right? Why do you have a raven on your arm? Do you love Edgar Allan Poe? It's like, no, not necessarily, but like I love.
Because you've got a few religious tattoos on your arm.
Yeah, it's like, let me talk about Saint Benedict of Nursia and why I have a raven on my arm. So it's hard for me to evangelize. I'm not a good icebreaker, but when people come and ask about, why do you have lilies on your arm? Well, let me tell you about Saint Joseph and why I need help as a husband and father. It helps. So I think, do I look like the best Catholic in the world? No, obviously, but it's something that I love, and it's a part of my identity as a Catholic man, and it's something that I like to talk about.
And where did you grow up?
I grew up in San Diego, California.
And when you grew up, was it in a Catholic family? Was it always there from the beginning?
Yeah, so I grew up going to church every Sunday. It wasn't until youth ministry that it started to make more sense. The biggest question that rocked me when I was young was like, every decision you make is either going to destroy the kingdom of heaven or build it up. And it's like, how do you now...
Yeah, but as a young person, how do you get to that point where you're thinking in terms of the kingdom of heaven? I mean,
I don't know. I don't know.
Was there a moment when you thought, this is true, this is real, as opposed to just going to Mass on Sunday because you had to?
Yeah, I think it was those questions being asked, and then also my first time in adoration, I think, was the first time where... in silence, you hear the voice of God, or you see and you adore our Creator, and the King of the universe is right there on the altar. That first moment where you hear the voice of God and it sounds clear, and it's like, this is what you need to do. If you are going to make this the most important thing in your life, do it.
And how did it change your life then?
I try to be the best that I can be.
Why are you smiling when you're answering that?
Well, it's always funny, right? It's like, what does a good Catholic look like, right? And it's like, we're all sinners in need of grace. Like, I need to go to Mass as often as I can, right? Could I go daily? Should I go daily? 100%. Do I have time to? No. But why do you believe what you believe, right? We've been taught this,
it's tested.
I believe it. And then, why is Mary have such an important role in your life and in Christ's life? Why do we need the church? Why do we need to go to confession? And so it became... it solidified my faith in college by getting asked these questions. And as I walked from life from being a freshman in college to now a 31-year-old dad of 4, what's the most consistent thing in there, right? It's now I'm trying to love Jesus and his church as best as I can. Now I'm trying to teach my children to love Jesus and his church as best as he can. And I think, and then again, like why I made this statement too, I want to be able to show my children that like we have to stand and walk by our faith as well. We can't just say these things. And when we do get tested, and if they ever get tested at that point, in any point in their life, I want them to know that it's okay to stand up for our faith and it's okay to do this.
For people who want to stand up for what they believe in, and this is something I asked Harrison Butker as well from the Kansas City Chiefs, maybe young guys watching you now who say, I would like to speak out on this issue or that issue, and it might not just be Catholicism, any religion or any belief, but they feel I'm not smart enough, I'm not equipped, I can't back it up. How do you decide when to speak up and when not to speak up on certain issues? Sure,
I think you need to hear the voice of God first. I think you need to spend as much time in silence as possible. You need to go spend time in front of the Blessed Sacrament. You need to talk to people that you trust and love, whether that's a priest, loved one, or in spiritual direction. You need to really discern these certain things, because it could just be God asking you, are you willing to speak up about this? And sometimes he's just asking you are you willing to speak up about this? And if you say yes, he might not give you an opportunity to speak up upon it, but he just wants you to be willing to do it. So
you mean it could be just speaking amongst your friends, not putting up a tweet that is seen by 19 million people?
Right. That could be something as easy as that, or sometimes the toughest thing is speaking to your family about it, right? 20 million people seeing a tweet is great, right? But sometimes the hardest people to evangelize and talk to are the ones closest to you.
Your faith today, how is your faith today? You talked about how it developed over the years, and how is it today? You said you're 31?
31.
4 kids?
Yes, 4 kids.
Are they testing your faith?
They are testing my faith, but they are adorable as heck. So it works out. It works out great. I think.
And is it 1 girl and 3?
3 boys and 1 girl. The girl runs the show. She's in the middle, and it's something that my wife and I have been extremely blessed with this family. We have been given so much, and they are my entire world there, and I would do anything for them. Even if they told me to stop playing baseball today and be home with them, I would do that in an instant. So my faith is as solid as it has been in my life, and it's because of my wife being by me for our entire relationship. It's because my kids give me the hug and squeeze when I need that hug and squeeze. And it's the people that I have surrounded myself with that love me and want me to get to heaven with them.
Hey, Trevor, great meeting you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.